Hello, and welcome back to Monifactory. Last time we used this rocket to go to space, and we got this tiny little rocket to get us Naquada, which let me get this cool thing. Between episodes, I've done a little bit more work around the place. Over here in the EBF area, I added a few more materials on passive. For luminescence, all we're missing is phosphoric acid, so I just gotta find somewhere to put that. We'll do that in the RAM stick over there. And we have all the stuff to make black steel automatically as well, so that's good. I don't think we need black steel that often, but it's nice to have. Additionally, I set up a liquid helium vacuum freezer, and a vacuum freezer that uses liquid helium. So now we don't have to take things like the ABS fluids out of here. We can just leave them in here because now we have a liquid helium hatch over here. I also added this waste stone right here. That's it. It's a waste stone, and it's right here instead of over there. Yep. Today, however, I would like to do a lot of things. We have a big place to do a lot of things. Let's just put a lot of the things that we need to do in the big place. We'll go through these one at a time. We're going to start with a block factory, because we are 81,000 block C cores in, and they are not automatic yet. We are 40,000 eclipse base in, and they are not automatic yet. We are 35,000 xenoblack base in, and they are not automatic yet. And we're 10,000 bit base, and we're not automatic yet. These are problems I must fix. To that end, I believe we need a better rock breaking setup. Because while this is fine, I mean, it's running at MV, let's be real here, right? We've got the power for probably like an EV hatch, so may as well use EV in this rock cycle simulator. Although I'm kind of even thinking if we need this, really. I mean, we'd be paralleling this for like 1 every 40th of a second. Is that really necessary? Probably not. Yeah, I think an EV rock breaker would be fine. I don't know why I thought I would need the multi-block for this. So for our main building blocks here, we of course need the block C core. This is pretty simple. It's just a crafting step using some of the cobble works. No biggie, we'll just set up some furnaces or maybe like a multi-smelter or something. Probably a furnace, I think it should be fine. I don't think we need a multi-smelter. And each of these uses some combination of block C cores plus some other stuff. We get coal from H&N, so we have no need to, worry about that. That's easy, just a crafting step. We'll get gravel from the cobble works, but we need black dye. For black dye, I think it's probably best to use wither rose. Yeah, I'm thinking we'll use wither roses. We could also use dried kelp, but I don't really think that's necessary. I think it's probably just best to use a phytogenic insulator and just like loop this thing, because I think we have the ability to loop this now. Cyclical processing. Yeah, actually this is a lot more recent than I would have thought, but we can make this now, and that's great. We'll have a little baby greenhouse in this phytogenic insulator for our wither roses, and then we extract them for dye. Bit base is going to be a little more problematic. Well, actually, will it? The main thing here would be the dyes, of course, but I mean, if we're making black dye, I guess it really depends on how fast you make black dye. I was thinking maybe red dye, because, I mean, red's very easy. You can just farm rose bushes, and you do get a lot of rose bushes. We could just do the same thing here. We get a little bit more red dye, plus we just have an extra type of dye, which could be nice. We'll consider it. Well, that was pretty easy. Just took a little bit of time. I mean, it's the ever iconic Gregtech process, right? Except this one's a bit more whimsical because it has wither roses involved. Oh, and it looks like that just finished backlogging too. Cool. It's pretty simple. We've got an 880 energy converter down here. This is just enough to power basically each of these machines. Not even half of these, if any of these run at a full amp of whatever its machine is. This actually runs at just an amp of HV, which is why we used an old 1 amp HV converter down here. Efficient. I didn't realize this had reinforced components inside, so we're using those instead of the Envar ones I put in. And I'm starting to realize the purpose of the stocking mode instead of the just extract round robin. Stocking mode is just better, for the most part at least. At least for a lot of buy purposes. Anyway, now we have Block C, Aurora, Eclipse Base, Xenoblack, and Bit on passive, which is wonderful. I hate having to make more of these, and I never will ever again. Okay, this is going to be a very disjointed episode, and I'm currently out of time for this recording session, so I'll be back in a second with something else to do in a different point in time. Ooh. A new day, a new goal. Today, I want the space couple works, which is like half of the quantum flux thing. So I looked through them, and for the most part, I was quite uninterested with about half of them. Mars dust doesn't really give me anything I care much about here. We get some more extraterrestrial metal mixture, but I don't really care. We get zinc, which I don't really care about. We get like a small amount of calcium perchlorate. This is almost enough to make me think about it, but it's just not enough like chlorine for me to care. There's other better ways to get chlorine. And the basaltic mineral sand is just iron. Like, it's just a lot of iron and sand. It's nothing I really need. Venus dust is a bit more interesting. Apatite is like passive phosphorus, which is not bad, but I feel like there's so much better ways to get phosphorus en masse than this. It's at an EV centrifuge, no less. It takes 10 seconds to get like an eighth of one, and for us to get 3 pieces of phosphorus, it would take like I guess 80 seconds isn't bad for 3 phosphorus, but for the most part, I just don't see it being very good. Sulfur dioxide is I'm really not interested in it. Maybe one day we'll come back to this, but I don't see it happening today. Moon dust, I'm a bit more interested in, however. Quicklime, I think, could come up in a couple different circumstances. Ilmenite, of course, is wonderful. We love titanium. Magnesium is okay to pick up, and we'll probably just like store and maybe even end up binning the anorthite. Albeit we can electrolyze it for like some oxygen and just some like stuff. Like, really, it's nothing like amazing, but it's there. Polar's Earth, I feel like, is important. It feels important. Redstone is a nice little bonus. We'll be voiding all the stone dust almost certainly. And of course, from everything, we're getting the extraterrestrial metal mixture, which is chrome, which is nice. Manganese, which is not bad. Tungsten, which is awesome. Molybdenum and lead, which is not bad. And a boatload of titanium, which is great. Well, a boatload, relatively speaking. I mean, it's a 50-second centrifuge recipe. Bear with me here. To get these, though, we do need to do a rock cycle on each of the respective planets. So we actually even don't need anything like else on the moon. We just need the rock breaker. Is that it? Okay. And the same is true of Mercury. Okay, wait, hold on. I thought, does this not really need the lava water next to it? Or am I crazy? I mean, it probably does, right? I feel like there was like a visual indicator here at some point. Am I wrong? Oh, because I'm looking at rock cycle simulation, not the rock breaker. Gotcha. That makes sense. Yes, there we are. Now, the Mercury does need an EV rock breaker, which means we'll probably need 2 combustion generators, which we might have. Yes, we do. So we just need the 3 of those. And I need to get another rock breaker. This is going to be pretty simple. We'll have a combustion generator here, a rock crusher here, ender tank, lava, and water. We have to dye the ender tank, of course. Oh, the water froze. I suppose that makes sense. It is quite cold up here. Do you think torches will melt it? Hey, where'd that go? Huh? Hey! Maybe I just can't place torches up here. What about glowstone? I know light levels can, melt water, so maybe that's the thing here. What? Let me put a little thing on top of it too. Maybe that'll help. No, it's still iced over. I don't know what to do about that. Do I need to use the multi-block rock breaker, maybe? What if I, like, waterlog it? What about, like, that? Oh, what? Hey! Where'd it go? Huh. I didn't think about this as a problem. Do you think distilled water would work? I mean, probably not, but like, what's the harm in trying? Oh, you just can't place this? Oh, well, I guess that's the harm in trying. Well, I mean, this doesn't use water. It feels like a bit of a waste, but I mean, maybe it's what we have to do, right? Well, to my understanding, there's 2 options according to the internet. The first is, of course, the rock cycle simulator. The other is using an oxygen loader to actually, like, make an atmosphere that the water can exist in. I feel like this is probably more of an effort. Like, I would need 2 whole, like, space stations, basically. And that doesn't feel like a worthwhile investment. So I guess we're making multi-blocks instead. Okay. Oh dear. There's a lot of things that I don't have for this. I mean, these 2 are probably just recipes. The polyvinyl butyrol, what was this again? This was like a problem, wasn't it? Oh, yes it was. Oh, jeez, man. I don't really want to do that right now. I mean, what was the process for this? I'm gonna need it eventually anyways, right? Well, I suppose I should get a bit more chemistry out of the way too. May as well make PVC while we're here. We only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chemical reactors and 2 electrolyzers. It's so exciting, I know. Well, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. A lot of it is because of things like byproducts. One of these 2 chemical reactors, I forget which, I think it's probably this one, makes hydrochloric acid as a byproduct, and so we need to like pull that out without making sure, or while making sure it doesn't, go into here or anything like that. Stuff like that. It's not exactly hard, it's just, chemistry, and you have to deal with the finickiness of logistics and trying to make it look pretty. But now we have passive polyvinyl butyrol, so that's good. All we're missing now is a couple of quantum stars, which are crafting currently. So I'll be back in a while after those finish and this all finishes crafting. And we'll, you'll just watch me set up some rock breakers. It won't be that interesting, right? Okay, well, we might not be processing the extraterrestrial metal mixture, but we are processing everything else. Just gonna turn that down for a second. We're doing 2 macerators per centrifuge because, this takes twice as long as 1 macerator takes, so, that makes sense. The centrifuge pumps these 4 items into here. Ilmenite we'll process later, same thing with the extraterrestrial metal mixture. We'll be doing both of these at IV because we need to. Magnesia comes in here to electrolyze for oxygen and magnesium. And the anorthite comes in here to electrolyze for all of these things. None of these are particularly amazing, but it's, better to have them, right? Plus a little bit of oxygen never hurts. Over on this side, we're doing much the same, but with the mercury stone. We're keeping a buffer this time because we use these for quantum flux, or rather we're going to, once we have some cinnabar gems. We can get a lot better quantum flux recipe here. Recall that our current recipe is this 4 extraterrestrial matter, which is, I guess, free, and pulsating crystals, which is not free. Comparatively, if we just use cinnabar, now we have a 4 times more efficient recipe that costs, like, nothing. So, pretty good. We're getting 6 total products here. We are avoiding the stone dust, so that makes 5. The basaltic mineral sand comes into here to automatically smelt into iron. We could do a number of things with this, like electrolyzing for the magnetite and the basalt, but I don't care about the basalt even a little bit. There's nothing in here worth processing down for, frankly. Otherwise, I'd be doing basalt works. And magnetite, which is just, I'm just having my iron for fun, really. So we're just smelting it to make it nice and simple. Everything else here, I think we'll just process later. The garnet sand, I have no intention to process as it stands, but if we ever end up needing to, it'll be nice to have it. This makes 6 separate gem dusts, and most of them are bad. The one that we would be considering is uvarovite. Uvarovite? I'm just going to call it uvarovite. Most of these have some combination of aluminum, iron, silicon, oxygen, manganese, magnesium, or etc., or like calcium. And we have all of these just like passive already, except like maybe manganese. However, uvarovite gives us chromium, which is pretty good. It might not be that good given it's 20 for 2. So, we get 1/10 of the chrome that we do per each of these, green dusts. And reminder once again that it is, a 6, so it's like a 60th of this is chrome. So while this is running, we have 1/6 of a chrome. And I believe we have chrome veins now. Yeah, we could just like go to Mars or the moon and like get chrome. And at not a bad rate at that. Like a very good rate, no less. So I don't see any need to do that. I'll probably set up this extraterrestrial metal mixture before long. But I am tired and it's late for me, so I'll be doing that another time. Boom, next cut time. Alright, we're making good progress. Next up, we're going to be skipping quantum flux for a little bit. I want to have a better way of getting cinnabar for this. I might come back to this after ore processing maybe, which we probably won't do today, but we might. Let's look into primal mana. So for primal mana, we of course need the primal mana dust, which is 4 of the elemental dusts plus some diamond dust. The diamond dust is not too big of a deal, that's just a macerator step. The 4 elemental dusts are... they range in complexity. Pyrotheum we should be able to just about make immediately with maybe like a macerator and a mixer. The same is almost true for cryotheum, except we need snowballs. The same is mostly true for petrothium, except we need obsidian dust instead of snowballs. And aerothium, except we need saltpeter instead of obsidian dust, or snowballs. So while we can make each of these with the loot fabricators, I don't really want to. Like, does this seem like a good use of our time and our super fabricators and stuff? I don't think so. Oh, but glacial precipitators aren't in this pack. Well, that's unfortunate. Thankfully, the fluid solidifier is here, which we can just, solidify water into snow, and, water's free, so that should be fine. I can probably just, get a water cover, right? Do I have one of those? No. Well, anyway. Obsidian dust we can get from, unsurprisingly, macerating obsidian. And obsidian we can actually get via a rock breaker, which is a little surprising, but I'm glad to see we can. And we haven't actually made pass obsidian yet, so I feel like this is pretty important to do. Saltpeter is the one where we have a few different options for it. A lot of these are, of course, very complex. I think for any of them, the loot fabricator for this one seems the most intriguing, or potentially worthwhile. We could also just use a single block loot fabricator. That is actually probably the solution I'm going with now that I'm thinking about it. The other alternative I was thinking of was 4 sandstone into electrolysis for 1 saltpeter, but that's a lot of sand for that. We could also centrifuge andesite, which would give us asbestos as a side product, which is not terrible. I don't know if we need asbestos for anything, but, So yeah, let me get some machines and I'll put up a little line. Just like, the other ones you've been seeing so far. Alright, another pretty big one out of the way. Passive mana, which is pretty important. We'll use the mana dust itself later on in UV and stuff like that for whatever this is, and whatever this is. But primal mana is super important. We use this all the time as it stands. In fact, it is one of, I believe, 2 things holding us back from passiving aluminum and signalum. The other being these clathrates here. And I guess in the case of signalum, probably red steel. Oh, and I guess I should probably fully passive annealed copper at one of these points. Let me actually go check on the EBF area, because how close are we to aluminum then? I don't have a mixer for it. I see. I also don't have one for phosphoric acid. Well, those are just little intricacies. I can do those later. Ba-bam. Alright, passive aluminum. Pretty cool. We're basically out of interface space down there, so I gotta do some more. But, after that we'll be able to do signalum. And maybe I might need some more space, but don't worry about that. Alright, and I set up the blast furnace for it too. So now we have passive IV cables, which is pretty awesome. All I believe now for passive IV everything, I believe is tungsten steel, which I should probably put a mixer for right here. Perfect. And I believe this is already set up over here to do tungsten steel automatically. Yes, it is. We have a giant backlog from when I was crafting this manually a while ago, because I expected myself to make the IV combustion generators, but I did not. So, it's alright. We didn't really need to automate tungsten, but it's darn good too, I feel. We're gonna need a lot, I imagine, so, good to get out of the way early. That was not on our docket, but you know what? That's part of the and more. Bam! Look at us, look at how good we're doing today. Ooh, you know what else I'm realizing? Is we can actually now autocraft nether stars if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think we should have basically everything that goes into making these. Huge, huge. These were far and away the worst part about making quantum stars, because, well, the radon's not exactly hard to come by. So could I make like a stack of these? Quartz and buffers and luminescence blocks. Okay, that's not too hard. How about like half a stack? More luminescence, but otherwise fine. Okay, let me go increase that backlog. The quartz I think I'm also going to have to do something about, because I believe the only way we get it currently is like electrolysis of glass. Oh, right, that's not the issue with luminescence. The issue with luminescence is I don't have phosphoric acid. I suppose I should go do something about that. Alright, well that's passive phosphoric acid. I have some space here for a second LCR in case we need to also use oxygen. I'm finally wall sharing, guys. Are you proud of me? I mean, I was earlier, but like for real. We also have space here for another 2 LCRs on this side, just to make it nice and simple, nice and, you know, clean. I also need to remember to add some lights here because, well, that's why. Okay, now can I autocraft some nether stars? Okay, well that's fair. We'll do 16. 16 is still pretty good. Making 16 nether stars just by clicking a button, still pretty good. I just, you know, have to go have a place where I can get my nether quartz now, because I should probably just like have a passive electrolyzer for that somewhere. That's probably also not that hard to do. Let me just go do that. There we go. That'll fill itself over time, and hopefully won't kill all of our glass supply. I mean, we have a lot of, we make glass pretty quickly, right? At least I hope. We have 2 sources of it, no less. So, you know, that should be fine, right? Right? I hope. Anyway, it's time for me to take another break and let a lot of these things, you know, backlog for all the things that aren't already full, like this one. How's Lumium doing? Pretty good, pretty good. That's what I like to see. Yeah, anyway, I'll be back shortly. Alright, at least once more unto the breach. We've got at least one thing to do left. Passive Certus. Now thankfully you can make these flawless budding Certus quartz, so we'll passive this much like we did in stone block. These will grow Certus quartz and they can be broken with annihilation planes. In this case I would like a fortune 3-1, and they can be growth accelerated with a growth accelerator. So I think we're going to do it pretty simply here. We're going to have a drawer here, a vacuum chest here, we'll have a block here for the Certus quartz to sit on, that way it'll grow onto this face. I'll put some glass around so it doesn't grow onto the other faces that would be the wrong faces. We'll have the growth accelerator on the back. Actually, I guess we could put it at the bottom. Let's do that. Like that. Actually, I think I'm remembering that I don't think vacuum chests actually do what I want here. More specifically, I don't think annihilation planes do what I want here. No, these push into a network storage, so I need to put something onto this drawer so that will store all the things into this drawer. Tiny subnet time. Oh, and in case you're wondering, we are out of Certus quartz. This is me making more because we have none. Apparently you can take the dust, which we're processing some, and the charged, and it turns it into the normal. So that's cool. Okay, so we can enchant the annihilation plane here. Shout out the enchanter. We'll have a quartz fiber here so that we can bring power to this little subnet without actually, you know, bringing the rest of it. Storage bus here. The annihilation plane here. And then we'll just hook the whole thing up. Cap this off so it doesn't grow up here. And I should probably get a facade for that. Oh, I also didn't consider it would be at... oh, that's right. I remember how to fix this problem. You do this. Aha! I also need to fix this problem. And of course, everything is better colored the right thing. And locked. And connected. And it's not grabbing it instantly, so that's good. It should be billing quite soon. Looks like it's about to be done pretty soon. The thing I really like about these growth accelerators is that they're really fast, and they also work as I'm about to start speaking, so that's great. Fortune looks like it's working great. Excellent. Let's just jam another storage upgrade into this, because, like, why not? Who cares? 16,000 Certus quartz? Probably won't be enough. Let's let that thing go for a while. That was easy. I feel like I should do a little bit more. Well, looking forward, we need this polyphenylene sulfide. It's used for LEV plus cables, allegedly. It's not exactly a long chemical process. We need sodium sulfide and dichlorobenzene. Dichlorobenzene we can just make with chlorine and benzene, and we have benzene from some of our distillations, I'm sure. And sodium sulfide is, I mean, sodium and sulfur. What do you want me to say about this, right? Shouldn't be too hard. Just a couple chem reactors. Alright, well that was pretty easy. I also set up salt electrolysis here, because we had a lot of salt, and we still have a lot of salt. But eventually we won't, and it'll all be chlorine, which is good, because we need more chlorine. We always need more chlorine. But we don't really need more sodium, so I'm just gonna void upgrade that. I guess I'll throw an aluminium upgrade in there, because, you know, why not? Oh, and of course we need to make it pretty. Well, I'm looking forward, and I'm not sure if there's anything really left for us to do. I guess we could, like, set up the knack line, but that's not happening today. Let's prod here into LUV. Just, like, kind of poke in there a little bit. Little jab. How about that? Right up to here. So for LUV machine hulls, we need PTFE, which we have. LUV machine casings, which require rhodium-plated aluminum palladium. And niobium titanium wires. Or I guess niobium titanium cables. And this requires the wire, as well as polyphenylene sulfide and polyvinyl chloride sheets. Surely there's a better way to phrase this. PPS? Probably PPS. PPS and PVC. Rhodium-plated aluminum palladium, of course, requires aluminum, rhodium, and palladium, but we have all of these, that's fine. And so we should be able to make our first LUV machine hull. There it goes. Let's see how long that'll take. Ooch, probably about 6 minutes. I'll be back in about 6 minutes, I guess. So while this is all crafting, and me realizing that I'm hopefully going to have some of this spare, because I'm not gonna have it otherwise, and I can't get the quest, oops. We are going to want the LEV assembler for, you know, like a lot of things, obviously. But, I mean, most obviously for this, as well as, you know, LEV energy hatches is the other one I'm looking forward to. For that, we need the assembly line. We will not be doing this today, not even close. However, this is something we should consider for next time, and will probably be the main focus of the early half of the next video. And thus, we'll, you know, talk about it more once we get there, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Oh, hey, this is done. Oh, and I do have some extra. Excellent. Oh, and of that. Nice. For some reason, I can't click on my quest reward, so I have to click them up here. I don't know why that is. No, very soon we're getting to LUV. That's exciting. That is about the halfway point of the pack, allegedly, so that's a pretty cool milestone. Let's inspect the machine hull. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I like the design, I like the colors. Very cool. And wow, look at that. I would definitely say that's and more. Impressive. I'm gonna go make sure this is long enough to be a video. Here I find myself staring at my docket like a dope with a video just too short. And I know just the thing to make something very, very long. What we need is something equally long. Oh no. I mean, that's not bad. Like, for just like, I could be worse. All right, give me a second. So we need to make some more quantum stars, NAND chips, and graphene. Why don't I have a recipe for graphene? Am I crazy? Oh, probably because I just have the dust? Yeah, okay, cool. All right, 20 or so minutes later, how about now? What? Oh, I know the problem. I came over here and I put annealed copper and tempered glass on the passive line over here, but I forgot to add this to the drawer network. There we are. Go. I wonder how long this will take. So, the assembly line. To unlock the quest, we need to learn about data. So the assembly line crafts with data. Every time you want to make something, you need to know how to make it. For this, you need data sticks and data access hatches. The data access hatch in our case is being built with the assembly line itself, so that's fine. In order to get the data, we need a scanner and some data sticks, so we probably need to make an IV scanner, and by probably I mean we do need to do that. We can scan items to learn crafts, and then we put them into the access hatch. Eventually we can make bigger sticks, but for now we just have the sticks. Got it? Cool. I'm also now noticing this requires an emitter and a scanner, which means I need another 2 quantum stars. That's fine, I can make some more. The assembly line also calls for some Ruridit gears at some point, I forget what, but I noticed them. We can make this pretty handily. 30 seconds for, I think, 3 ingots. It's not the best, but I mean, 10 seconds per ingot, that's just like a vanilla furnace, right? If you can handle smelting iron and vanilla, I guess you should be able to handle smelting Ruridit, right? Because, you know, this is a good one-to-one comparison, right? It's not, that's the joke. You can laugh now. Alright, in just under 15 minutes, we get 1 assembly line. Powerful. Alright, so now comes one of the hard parts, and a part I've actually been kind of looking forward to. How do we automate this thing? Because unlike your standard multi-block, that's just, you know, machine that goes item in and item out, this has a little bit more complexity to it. You see, each of these ULV input buses is very specific. It needs to be a ULV one, which means that we need to get the right thing in the right spot. Well, it doesn't really mean that, but we do need to do that. Say, for example, we want an LEV robot arm. We need HSS long rods in the first slot, then gears, then small gears, then motors, then piston, then a circuit, and the niobium titanium. And it has to be in that order. I don't know where the fluids would go. I should probably check the multi-block for that. Oh, okay, on any of the sides, that works. We'll just like have it sitting at the bottom here, like in these couple slots. 1, 2, 3. So we need a way to hold a lot of things because our drawer technique well, actually, would it work? Well, now I want to know. Would it work? Well, first we need a scanner to actually put data into the assembly line, and I should probably make a handful of data sticks. Let's make about 10. Now, and we'll just chuck this like here because this seems like a good spot for it. So I feel like a great first start would be the LEV electric motor. This is what everything kind of requires, and what is a round? Okay. I think we're going to need a lot of things. That's fine. We'll figure it out. First and foremost, we need an IV motor to actually scan to get the LEV motor data. So this and that. Okay. And I should probably go and code some recipes for the actual things required to make the LEV parts. Okay, so I should have all the parts required. Let's see if it works. It might be a little bit before the all the goodies come in, but we'll see. Because it is still very important that they all go into the right spot in the right, you know, order. Which they should, I think. I mean, we'll find out once the Reddit's done in like 2 minutes. Oh, I nearly forgot to actually put this into the access hatch. There we are. And now I can go back to watching this. Oh, I need an IV polarizer. Well, that's awkward. We'll fix this later. We'll just check that there for right now. Toss this in there. Alright, and let's see what happens when this happens. Oh my god, it just worked? Oh, for real? Oh, okay. Great to know. Alright, cool. Well, we still need a way to get the items out, and unsurprisingly, we're just gonna, you know, send it over to the pattern provider over there. I have a few extra slots designated here, because we need it, I believe, a total of 13 wide eventually, or 13 long, rather. And we'll just extend the assembly line once we need to. It shouldn't be that hard, really. An LEV electric motor. Wowee. Boom. Welcome to almost LEV. Let me go make some more patterns, and we might actually get an LEV assembler today. Alright, everything's scanned. I've got a little bit of the things that I don't have auto-crafting recipes for. Can we do it? I need some bolts. And that's it. I can make some bolts. It's no biggie. Let's go make a stack. Rings and bolts are definitely on the things that I should add to a larger extruding machine, but we don't have that yet. So, I mean, we have a large extruding machine. I just, you know, haven't had the effort for it. Oh, that's like 40 ruridit. That's gonna be a while. Okay. I guess it's a good time for me to go make some food. Okay, well, I've been making things, and once again, I find myself irritated beyond words. So for a while, I just haven't been able to open these, which is like, I mean, it's like incredibly annoying for the most part, but it hasn't, you know, it's not like a big problem. I want to turn on blocking mode. How do I turn on blocking mode? So the problem is now that Applied Flux, I guess, doesn't like this specific version of AE2 because we're using AE2CL or whatever that means, because everything must be made with acronyms whenever I go and search something on the internet. If I'm off screen, that's me looking at Discord on my other monitor. People recommend PPS, whatever that means, or, you know, this or that. 18 acronyms without, you know, a single typed out word, because everything must be an acronym nowadays. So, I mean, I don't know, man. What do you want me to say? I guess I could try and do something. I don't know. Maybe there's I'm sure there's a better way to do it. I'll re-automate this later, but grumble, grumble, grumble. And I'm sure there's going to be someone in the comments being like, well, that's why you shouldn't use Applied Flux, because it's a bad mod. That's great. Unfortunately, the FE P2Ps are completely inconsistent with their logic, so, you know, sue me. What do you want me to do? Sigh. Alright, a couple semi-automatic things later. The Elite Assembler Do. Welcome to LUV. Yeah, where's my quest? Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me. I want it. Blunk. Is this when I get to say live, laugh, love? And then it's like LUV instead of like LOVE? I hope so. Anyway, I think this is long enough now. And with that, thank you for watching. We did a lot of stuff today. We made a line for assemblies and an assembly line. They are different things. Very different things. Some of them drove me mad, and only really one of them did that. And it's the assembly line, not the line of assemblies, actually. I think we are very prepared to go straight into these Naquata coils next time. And by that, I mean we're actually probably going to be doing the Naquata processing next time because, well, I mean, actually we only need basic Naquata wire. So, probably a little bit of both. We'll probably get the coils going and then, do the NAC line while we're, waiting for the 40-something quadrillion coils to go through because they always take forever, right? But that'll be for next time. And I hope to catch you next time. Once again, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.